Good morning, everyone. We've had some technical issues, so bear with us. I've been playing music for those who've been on Zoom, and I'm going to play one more song before we start the service. So this is a song I wrote earlier this year, and perfect timing with what's going on in the world. Still your mind, dry your tears. I heard the angel whisper in my ear. Open your eyes. You don't have to be afraid. You are here to walk in faith. So I pray for your light through me. This mystic soul needs your light to see. As I bathe in your mystery, I feel my spirit rise. Your light moves my feet toward my highest destiny. You make it simple to believe the glory in my eyes. Darkness loom. Those who fear the truth, my eyes only see the way to truth. That way is love, and I have seen her face. Now I am here to walk in grace. So won't you pour your light through me? This mystic soul needs your light to see. As I bathe in your mystery, I feel my spirit rise. Your light moves my feet toward my highest destiny. You make it simple to believe the glory light. Illuminate my mind, illuminate my joy, eliminate my doubt. Your light fills the void as you pour your light through me. All of humanity, as we bathe in your majesty, we feel our spirits rise. Your light moves our feet, pulls us to our highest destiny. You make it simple to believe. Glory in our eyes, illuminate my mind, illuminate my life, illuminate the world, illuminate. Ooh.
Thank you so much, Deb. Hi, everybody. This is Michelle speaking. I'm just here emceeing in the background. And thank you so much, Deb. I'm excited to see there's already 27 of us on here and more coming in. So just want to let everybody understand that because we had to switch to Zoom, we are going to have to mute everybody as they arrive in. So I'm going to do my best to do that for you. But please keep yourself muted during the service so we don't have any cross issues with sound. So we're going to have Reverend Kathleen, would you like to come on and say something first before?
I'll do it after Candace.
After the evocation. Okay, so I'm just going to be switching people and you guys have to deal with, just bear with me. It's been a little while since I did this. I used to do this for a living, believe it or not. Okay, so we'll just make sure everybody else is muted. And then Candace, can you unmute yourself, please?
Absolutely.
All right, you're up.
Okay. Oops. Trying to get this clear now. Okay. Hi, everybody. So good to see you, be with you, share with you this morning. So grateful we can all be together and continue this unifying experience, uplifting experience of being in spiritual practice and illumination together. So I'm Candace Berkowitz, a religious science practitioner at the Centers for Spiritual Living, Delaware. And again, just so grateful we can be together. Thank you for showing up as we experience this unity together. So I invite us all to close our eyes and enter in that realm of incredible spaciousness where everything is possible. This is the realm of God, the one life, the wholeness of being, the truth, the power, the peace, the wisdom, the intelligence, the divine order, the eternal flow of good. And knowing it arises as unconditional love. So breathing in right here and right now. Let's breathe in that love together.
It's what?
This is cool. I can see everybody that's on.
You've got, hello?
Honey, hold on just a second, hon. We need to mute you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Quite all right. Go ahead, Candace. Sorry, didn't
Okay.
quick enough.
That's okay. It's all good. It's just so wonderful that everybody is arising, knowing that again, that unity. So grateful for this opportunity. So just again, breathing in together this love, this unconditional love that is God, as we fill our hearts and open them wider, allowing on the exhale any tension, any worry, and any concern, any dis-ease to dissipate into the ethers, to be utilized for whatever purpose it has. And just allowing that, that wholeness of being to be experienced in our body temple, in our minds, and in our spirits right now. And in this spaciousness, now that we are following the theme for this year, seeing with spiritual vision, 2020, absolute clarity. Clarity of the spiritual vision, the truth of God, the wholeness of being. Knowing that God being wholeness, it is the divine feminine, the divine masculine, it is the all in all. Again, allowing this awareness that there is no separation, that everything is within the whole simultaneously. And so we allow all aspects of the divine feminine, all aspects of the divine masculine to be fully present as each one of us. As we enter into this theme for today, nurturing as strength, nurturing as strength. Knowing that receptivity and that giving is a power within each and every one of us. And so as we embrace this with an open heart, let's allow it to flourish with our intention. And knowing it is very good and serves not only us, each one of us individually, but serves the collective And knowing that this is what is being called for right here and right now across this planet. This a collective awareness that we are one and we bring our strength, our power through the nurturance, through the care of each other. And so offering that as a blessing, a thanksgiving for each one of us, as we breathe out and share that with the world, with our full command and our full intention of this givingness to each other. Healing all idea of discord and dis-ease right here and right now. And so in light of this inaugural virtual Sunday service this March 22nd, I want to give my thanks for everyone who has participated in making this possible. And Michelle Johnson in particular for bringing us together in coordination, how important and how valuable, and bringing her experience to bear here today. For Reverend Kathleen for the hours that she studied the Zoom technology, and for Dan as well, as they partnered together in supporting bringing this together. And so also for every single person who has shown up today, for Deb Chamberlain, who provides us so much beautiful music, so much upliftment, and so much talent and compassion in the beautiful songs that she writes. And so for all participating today, if you're a member of Centers for Spiritual Living Delaware or not, we welcome you. So grateful you are here. I release this word into the law, knowing that all unfolds in absolute perfection. And give my thanks for this. Let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Okay, am I on?
You're on.
Okay, hi everybody. So grateful that you came online with us today. And I, first of all, want to say that I am so grateful that we are still feeling connected as community, and we're going to keep that going with our technology. We are right on it to the very best of our abilities. I think Facebook is probably overloaded today. That's why it didn't go. It certainly worked the other day when we tested it. So thank you for making the extra effort to come on Zoom. I also want to mention that I'm so grateful for those who continue to send in their, what's wrong, Dan?
Look at me.
Oh, look at you, Beth. I need to go look here. Okay, I'm also grateful for those who are continuing to send in your donations. And if, you know, we'll be mentioning it later, but if you just go to our website and scroll all the way down on the page, there's a donation button at the bottom. So thank you for your continued support. These are really challenging times, and it's a good time to remember that community truly is part of our immune system, strengthens our immune system. So community is immunity. And so continue to connect with each other by phone, and now we have this wonderful Zoom technology where we can connect with each other. But what I'd like to do is, in this very moment, to invite, I think Michelle's going to be turning on the video, not the audio, but the video of everybody, so you can all just like wave at each other. So if you'll just get ready in just a few minutes.
Send it to me.
What do you mean?
Have me talk.
Okay, so Michelle's going to talk right now.
All right, everybody. So in order to do this, I'm going to have, if you can find it, go down to the bottom left. And with the bottom left, there's a thing that says video. You can see the mute. And you can see the video. So if you can, please click on the thing where it had the line on the video, and so your video will pop up. So you can click that video thing on the bottom left, and everybody's video pop up. I'll help out, but if anybody is able to do it, let me see if I'm able to do it. No, I can't do it. You have to do it yourselves. Okay, and then the other thing you want to do is in the top right, there's a little picture that has a bunch of little dots. And if you click those dots for a moment, we can all see each other. Reverend Kathleen's going to come around so she can see everybody else too.
Oh, wow.
Hi, guys.
Yay.
And then there's arrows. After you've clicked that view up in the top right, those little boxes so you can see everybody. There's actually so many of us that you have to click the little arrows back and forth on the left and the right to see everybody else. So let's see who else I can, see if there's anybody else I can, I'm going to ask a few people to start their video. Hi, there we go, more people. I'm just going to ask a few more people to start their video, and I think we might have one person added. We will mute you guys in just a second. If you can mute yourselves, it's always helpful on the bottom left. Let's see who else. I'm just giving people a little option to start the video.
Hey, family.
Hi.
It's
So if we
Virgin.
can all stay muted, I know it's a little harder, but it's easier if everybody stays muted. So mute on the bottom left. So
Hey,
you can-
Virgie. Sissy's here.
Hi all, if you guys could just please mute yourself on the bottom left. We're just saying hi, and then you can turn on your video. We're happy to see you on video. Why don't you-
Okay, do they have to?
So please just, again, we're just doing a quick hi here. So if you're able
Hi,
to,
everybody.
turn your video on and keep yourself muted, bottom left. And if you want to see everybody up in the right-hand corner, we're going to click that view that looks like the little dots, square of dots, and that'll help you see everybody. And then you can scroll back and forth on the left and on the right. Able to see everybody, and I'll keep working at muting people if I can.
It is fun to see everybody.
It is.
A lot of people tuned in today, and I'm so grateful for that.
Hi guys, I'm just gonna mute you, but if you can turn on your video, we would love it. A few more highs.
Turn on your video. Down in the
Few more
bottom left-hand
smiles.
corner, there's a red slash across what it looks like a little video camera. Just click on that, and you'll be able to go live, and then people can see you, and you can all wave at each other.
And then you can use
Michelle, I unmuted myself, but I can only see me. How do I see everybody? I don't see those dots.
you don't see the dots?
No.
You have to open yourself up a little wider. That happened to me one time. I actually had to go out and come back in. So you might just want to try that. It should pop up right at the top right of your corner of your Zoom.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry, we got to get started. So I'm going to ask everybody, we're going to have to kind of switch things here. So you can stay on that view if you want, but if you want to switch back, there's a speaker view up on the right-hand corner. And if you're not finding it, again, like Melanie, sorry, these things are a little funky sometimes. Sometimes you just got to close out and come back in and see if that does the difference. And now that thing pops up. That happened to me the other day. But we got to get started. So we love all you guys. If you want to see Reverend Kathleen, then you can just focus on the upper right-hand corner, the main view, and I'm also going to pin her. All right, Reverend Kathleen, back to you.
So I'm going back to the main screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So let's join in together as spiritual community and do what we always do when we open the service, which is to put ourselves in receptive mode, to receive our highest understanding of the divine and to receive all the good that's available for us. So if you put your arms out and repeat after me, I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and healing. And I open my mind to the universe, accepting illumination and wisdom. And then we can bring our hands into our hearts, fully receive that. And so I think we're really ready for our service now. And so let's affirm this truth with a yes, and so it is. And I can hear all of you, even though I can't hear you. I'm very excited that we're together. Okay, so Candace is up next. She's going to give us a few short announcements. So Candace?
Yes, I'm back. Okay. So because of this experience that we are all sharing and social distancing that we are all practicing for mutual respect, they scheduled events that require social contact are postponed until we receive word that it's safe to gather again. So, but we can still gather virtually as we're experiencing right here and right now. So staying connected with our spiritual community, you can take a live online CSL Delaware class using this format of interactive Zoom technology. You can connect with the teachers and fellow students just as we're doing now from the safety and comfort of your home, and no experience, well, you're having the experience with Zoom right now, so you are already tuned in and aligned and know what you're doing. So join one of the following classes on our website to more effectively connect with the source and use your spiritual power. The first class that we're offering is The Power of Your Word, facilitated by Reverend Kathleen and Mary Kegelman, which begins this Tuesday, 2 days from now, March 24th, from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And it runs for 8 Tuesdays. There's a $45 pre-registration that's due tomorrow night. And you can register online on the CSL Delaware website. The registration by March 23rd. $45. Sign on and just go to the classes and you will see a button that you can click to pay. Class 2 is The Magic of the Soul, facilitated by Marianne Ruan, religious science practitioner, beginning Thursday, a week away from April 22nd, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And that also is running for 8 Thursdays, excluding April 16th. Again, that also is a $45 pre-registration fee, and that's due March 31st. So to pay the $45 registration fee, visit the website, click Get Involved button, a menu will drop down, click on Class and Event Fees, scroll down to the class of your choice and use the PayPal button or call the number on the flyer. Once you're registered, we'll send you course materials, and please order books listed on the flyer. Arrange payment of class tuition and workbook with the instructor. So I hope everybody's going to take advantage of this upliftment during this time that we cannot gather in person. I know you will be very appreciative of that decision. So we'll continue with the service, and blessings to all.
Thank you, Candace. Okay, I think it's time for another song. So this is Deb. Deb, can you join us? Here, I can unmute you, Deb. I know she wants me to do that for her. I will find you. There you are. Oh, she did it. Yeah, here.
Hi, everyone. So in the original Facebook post, we had the lyrics to this next song, but they're really easy. So I'm going to tell them to you, and I'm going to do each verse twice. So you can sing on both verses, or you can listen to it and then join. I hope you're singing at home. So the words,
I'm going to just jump in real quick to explain to people. Unfortunately, if we all have our mics open at the same time, they cross over each other. So as much as we would love to all sing together and hear each other, it doesn't quite work on Zoom. So that's why we're having
I just meant
listen.
Sing while you're muted so you can hear yourself. So this is a Buddhist prayer, and Karen Drucker put the music to it. The lyrics are, may I be filled with loving kindness, may I be well, may I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy. And then we'll do that twice, and then it'll be, may you be filled with loving kindness twice, and then may we be filled with loving kindness twice. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. You are happy. We are happy.
Yay, thank you so much, Deb. All right, I believe Candace is going to be joining us again for a reading and affirmation. Deb, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. And Candace, please join us.
Okay, back again. So, the reading for today. Again, we are experiencing Seeing with 2020 Spiritual Vision, the theme for CSL to 2020. March theme is honoring the divine feminine in all, and today's topic is nurture as strength. Ernest Holmes wrote, "I live in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I could not even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing and all-power and is always right where I am." So I offer our affirmation for the month, which you can repeat after me or perhaps read on your screen. The divine feminine is in perfect balance with the divine masculine in me. I see the spirit shining in all beings across the gender continuum. I accept nurturing as strength. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Candace. Okay, I believe we have next Reverend Kathleen.
Ah, yes. You know, and on Facebook the other day, I saw a post that really caught my attention and made me chuckle. This is what it said. It said, "Are you kind of feeling like Earth sent us all to our rooms to think about what we've done?" Our divine mother, Mother Earth. Well, while I realize that this might not apply to all of us, because we do have some people who are, you know, who have to continue to go to work for one reason or another, including the medical professionals who are dealing with the coronavirus epidemic. And let's just know that they are surrounded in the light and the love of God. Let's continue to send forth our prayers to all of them, and really to all of us who have to continue to work. And for the rest of us, though, it is a great opportunity. We have a unique opportunity to unplug. And that means to turn off the media, not this media, but to turn off the media, and to take time, not only with our families, many of you are home with your families, and developing, making deeper connections with one another. But it's also a great time to up-level your spiritual practice, to really make a dedicated spiritual practice time every day, and to therefore meditate, pray, journal, pull out those books that you bought and maybe you didn't have a chance to read, and really take time not to think about what we've done so much, as this post was talking about, but to examine what we believe. And if those beliefs serve us as well as the highest good or not. And so it's an opportunity to release some of those beliefs that have gotten in the way, and to really strengthen ourselves in spiritual truth. So let's start at the macrocosmic level about belief. What is your belief about the all that is, the presence that we call God, source, infinite presence, whatever you call this one infinite universal life? We know that it is omnipresence. We've heard that: omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience. What does that mean? That means that presence is everywhere in its totality. It's indivisible at that level of the divine, at the level of source. It's indivisible, so it's present everywhere in its fullness. And so, and the scientists call it a unified field. So is there a remnant in your consciousness of thinking that old paradigm, the old paradigm of the male-only God with a long white beard sitting on the throne? If there's any little bit of remnant about that, it's time to expand that. It's time to really let go of that image and to allow something grander to come forth in your consciousness. So the thing is you may be sitting there saying, oh, I let go of that a long time ago. Just notice what pronouns you use to describe this divine presence. If you're still using he only instead of he, she, or it, then that might be an indicator there's still some that's remaining in your consciousness. And so this month we are looking at the idea that when we focus on the all that is as only masculine, then what we are doing is we're giving ourselves a subliminal message that the divine feminine is not included. And so since this all that is, this presence includes all, masculine and feminine, and is even beyond that, we want to put some focus now on the divine feminine aspect and bring it up to speed and bring it in our minds. It's already there, but in our minds, bringing it up together with that divine, that grand picture of the microcosm, the all that is. Because I truly believe, and many people believe, that the reason why we've gotten ourselves into this situation of war and epidemics and social injustice, economic injustice, inequality, and environmental exploitation is because of something that I'll be talking about a little bit later: toxic masculinity. It's not that the men themselves are responsible. I don't want to say that at all. But this toxic idea of what masculinity is. And so my intention today is to help us to dissolve that once and for all, so that we all, male and female, can live in greater harmony together. So the topics that I'm going to cover are our true nature. We often hear about nature versus nurture, or nurture versus nature. Well, I'm going to be talking about our true nature, And I'm going to be talking about nurture as strength. And then I'll be talking finally a little bit about toxic versus healthy masculinity, realizing that the masculine principle and the feminine principle reside in all of us. And so we want to bring that into greater balance within us. Our true nature. So think of words that describe us, that we often use to describe us. And I'm going to, since we're talking about the divine feminine, divine masculine principle, I want to talk about the descriptors that we use to describe our gender and our sexual orientation. So there are words like male, female, man, woman, lesbian, trans, bisexual, non-binary, cisgender, heterosexual, and gay, and so on and so on. Now, while these words describe an aspect of how we show up in human form, they don't even come close to describing our divine nature, our true nature. And so what we want to do then is take a look at what our true nature is. Let's just a reminder again. If the all that is, which is God, is unlimited in potentiality and possibility, it's the field of all possibility and all potential, and we are points of consciousness in that infinite universal presence or mind, then we have unlimited potential and possibility. So here's the thing though, is that we're immersed in a human culture that over the millennium has socialized males and females to take on certain societal roles that are based on gender. And so the role of nurturer then has been assigned to all of those who identify as girl or woman or female. And only recently have women on a grand scale been embracing their inner masculine and developing those aspects of themselves, such as developing their talents in their careers and becoming more assertive. So when I was preparing for this message, I suddenly thought, you know, this would be a great time to talk about that movie that's out right now called Little Women, because I think Little Women typifies, and Joe is the one in particular, typifies women in the early days. Now this goes back to the Civil War times, how they had longings, just like we do, to express their talents and their abilities in the world and to support their families, because in that time, the women had to support their families while the men were gone. And so Joe, as a writer, kept going to a certain publisher, and her work was acceptable enough to him to publish it, but she had to assume a male name as the author. And then finally, she decides to write a story about her family, which is mother and 4 daughters. And she writes it and she submits it to the publisher, and he says, oh, I don't think so, it's about women. People don't want to hear about women. And he puts it, I guess he sets it aside, and his daughters read it and they love it. And so he says, well, maybe this does have possibilities. So he finally allowed her to publish a book under her name and about women, realizing that women's lives are worthy of understanding. Their stories deserve to be heard. And then when she did marry, it was not a typical male-female relationship of those days. She married a man who took her work seriously. And so it's like the precursor of the new relationship between men and women, where they support one another in their spiritual unfoldment and in the sharing of their gifts. Another story that I thought of was, and this is another movie, is the story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And you know, in the early days, she really struggled. She was a very talented lawyer. She was at the top of her class. And yet when she went into the male-dominated into the male-dominated world, she met with barriers every step of the way, and people who refused to hear her, to have her share her talents. She too had an atypical relationship with her husband at that time, where he supported her each and every step of the way. So only recently then have men on a greater scale been encouraged to share something that's been considered relegated to women, which is nurturing their children. And not only nurturing their children, acting as mentors for others and nurturing them and nurturing other people in their lives. And as a result, we're getting closer and closer and closer to both males and females experiencing their potentials and their wholeness. So again, to just summarize this part about nurture, words can describe us, but they do not define us. We must really stay rooted and founded and grounded in the awareness of our unlimited being, the unlimited nature of who we are. And also embrace the divine feminine as a valuable quality, equally as valuable as the masculine. So nurture. And this is about embracing the divine feminine. This is for males and females. Ernest Holmes writes that there is a presence and power greater than we are that nurtures and supports us in ways that we cannot even imagine. I'm paraphrasing it a little bit. And he says, it is always right where we are. Again, that non-local level of spirit is present everywhere in its fullness. It's important to remember that. And because we're made in the likeness and image of a nurturing presence, nurturing then is in our nature. It really is there. And when we deny it, we're denying a part of ourselves. So nurturing then, I want to give you a definition that I found on that I found online. It says nurturing is the act of caring, loving, encouraging, cheering on, reassuring, and inspiring. It's an uplifting feeling. It's uplifting and it's believing in the other. So who must I nurture then? To be that presence of nurturing, who must I be to nurture the growth of myself and others? And notice I included myself in that, because we must learn to nurture ourselves as well. So who must we be? We must be a person of strength and emotional maturity, a person of compassion. And here's the interesting thing about nurturing. It requires introspection, the willingness to observe and modify our own thoughts and behaviors and emotions to be able to be present with and care for others. Introspection, turning within. It requires courage, strength, and power. Any of you who have been doing this know that this is the truth. It takes so much strength. It is not for the weak and faint of heart. So radical self-care then is part of this introspective process. Meditation, prayer, visioning, to realize that it's really all about the evolution of consciousness. And that's, by the way, how I think of these challenges, like the COVID-19 that's going on right now. All of these challenges are evolutionary drivers. They are, that's the way to look at it. You know, we as students of science of mind and new thought always look for the good. Like, what is the good in this? The good is that it's supporting us in evolving in consciousness and waking up and looking again, turning within. What is in me that I'm still holding on to, that is being called to be released, so that I can take a higher perspective and truly be a beneficial presence on the planet. So are you embracing introspection, or are you avoiding it? by spending too much time, on TV, on the internet, whatever you're doing. This time of introspection is so essential to develop a nurturing consciousness, the divine feminine, which is being called forth in order to truly survive on this planet and to thrive. So the final thing I wanted to talk about was toxic masculinity versus healthy masculinity. Ernest Holmes says, never limit your view of life by any past experience. So toxic masculinity then is this. This is the definition. It's the adherence to the traditional male gender roles that restricts the expression of emotions and behaviors for boys and men. And the chief emotion of this traditional male gender role is anger. It's anger. They have been trained to go to anger as a way to stay in control. And so some of the other unhealthy aspects of the expression of this anger is it shows up as aggression, control, exploitation, misogyny, and dominance. The Me Too movement has really brought our attention to this destructive aspect of the expression of masculinity, this thing called toxic masculinity. And so many of us, I know, are re-examining that in ourselves because women, in the work world have taken on some of this toxic masculinity energy. So it's a time for all of us to look at that in ourselves. Nature provides a lot of examples of healthy masculinity, which is very cool. I found out that male gorillas, seahorses, penguins, and the greater flamingo, among others, all demonstrate nurture in their families. These are males that take on the nurturing role. So up until now, our boys and men have often been given unhealthy messages that nurturing and women who nurture are weak. Yet nurturing, we have just heard, requires courage, strength, and power. It also requires what's called a high emotional quotient, an ability to honor our emotions and express them intelligently and have compassion for others. So males have been trained or socialized to actually carry a low emotional quotient. And I'm not saying this is all males, but I'm saying those who have been socialized in the traditional male roles. And so again, that wreaks havoc in their relationships with other men, in their relationships with women, and with their families. So fortunately, and this has been going on for a while, there's been something called the men's movement. And I know some of the men in our congregation have participated in this. And this men's movement then is about unfolding this aspect called nurturing in men to help men to become more balanced. Men like James Hillman, he's a psychotherapist, and Robert Bly, who is a poet, among others, have held conferences since, I believe, the 1980s to help men break free from this toxic male, this toxic masculinity, these traditional roles, and to instead embrace their wholeness. And that means they've been growing in this thing called emotional quotient, which is, we know, a strength. So, are you kind of feeling like Earth has sent you to your room to think about what you've done? I'm going to ask you to move beyond that and to realize that it's a great time to up-level in this consciousness of wholeness, in this idea of nurturing as strength, in learning maybe better ways of communicating and connecting with others. So as we do our introspection, our inner work, let us remember that we are not only doing it for ourselves and for our families and for people that we connect with. We are doing this work for the entire planet, because we're all interconnected. We're all interconnected. So let's turn within in prayer, knowing that right here and right now, that the presence, the power, the life, the light, the source of all that is, which I call God, is all encompassing. It is the divine masculine and the divine feminine and beyond. That this source of all that is right here where I am and right where each and every person is, in its fullness and in its totality. And so I'm knowing that as we partake of the healthy divine masculine and the healthy divine feminine, as we begin to embrace nurture and nurturing others and ourselves as strength, I know that we are joining others across the planet in being the ones, being that difference that we wish to see in the world, that we are the ones who carry the light and the energy of love that we know is transforming our lives, transforming our families, transforming our planet, and that together we are truly co-creating heaven on earth, a world that works for everyone. So I release this word into the universal law of mind in full trust and in full thanksgiving that it is done, it is fulfilled, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen.
Thank you.
Reverend Kathleen, before you complete, there was a question. Is it okay?
Sure.
Somebody wanted to asked if you could share that definition of nurture again.
Okay, I will be happy to share the definition of nurture. It's the act of caring, loving, encouraging, cheering on, reassuring, and inspiring. It's believing in either ourself, if we're nurturing ourselves, we're believing in ourselves and believing in others. So it really is about the self-talk that we have for ourselves as well. Are we caring, nurturing, encouraging, and reassuring to ourselves when we think about ourselves as well as others? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
right.
I believe we have a song by Deb. Deb, I'm going to unmute you here.
Unmuted.
There you go.
Okay. This is called In Your Grace. We've been told we'll never be enough. That love is gold, but love's outside of us. And we know we could just give up, but we don't. So now we walk a thin, thin line as they talk in riddles and lies. We could blame it all on modern times, but we won't. 'Cause in your grace, in your divine nature, we are held in absolute perfection. And who we are is of your reflection, of your grace. I could get lost in all the dark confusion. The coin is tossed, truth or illusion. I'll walk across the threshold of delusion just to be just to be found in the morning in its waking, and hear the sound of glory in its quaking, as I come round to my own breathtaking me. Into your grace, in your divine protection, I am held in absolute perfection, and who I am is a pure reflection of your grace. For the windows where she comes from, and the sun knows when to rise, and the mother knows the reason her baby cries. Here in your grace and your divine protection, we are held in absolute perfection. Who we are is a pure reflection of your grace. Your grace. Your grace.
Thank you, Deb.
What we usually do at this time is the offertory. And because this format is a little bit different, I don't want people to be jumping off and on of their, I don't want you to feel like you have to jump off and on of your internet connection. I'm going to just encourage you at the end of this to go to the Center for Spiritual Living Delaware website, scroll all the way down, and you'll see the donation button at the bottom, and then offer your donations at that time. And so I think what we'll do is we'll just move on from here to the final song. We're all in this together. So Deb, are you ready for that?
Yes, I am. So I just want to say a little word about this song. I actually wrote this song about 25 years ago. And then about 6 years ago, I rewrote the whole song except for the chorus, which you're going to sing at home on mute with me. And there's one line, and I'm hearing this line everywhere I turn, on social media and the news. And the words are simply, "We're all in this together." So please sing with me. I'm going to do the chorus first, and it's just that line repeated 4 times. So you'll learn it in 1 second. So here we go. We're all in this together. That's it. We're all in this together. Sing some harmonies. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. With one heart, life was begun, flowing love to everyone. There is no place outside this love. Life is one for all, and all for one. We're all in this together. Yeah, we're all in this together. Oh yeah, we're all in this together. Oh, we're all in this together. In the heart of
heart. We're all in this together. With love in our eyes, every beat of the heart of man returns us to our source again. So together we grow, and together we stand, and co-create a sacred plan. We're all in this together. Together in truth, we're all in this together. Together in trust, we're all in this together. With one heart, we're all in this together. Together in love, we're all in this together. Together we stand, we're all in this together. Together we rise, we're all in this together. You see, with one heart, we're all in this together. Love in our eyes, we're all in this together. Feel that. We're all in this together. Connect through the heart, everybody. We're all in this together. With one heart, we're all in this together. With love in our eyes.
Final announcements from Candace.
Okay, sorry, say that again, Reverend Kathleen.
Yes, we have some final announcements from Candace.
And Candace, I'm gonna have to unmute you, so give me just a second here. Oh, where is Candace? Sorry guys, hold on here, and this is not showing up here. I hope she didn't fall off. Candace, put your hand up if you're here. I do not see Candace. All right, hold on just a second, everybody. Bear with me for a second.
Okay. All right. So it looks like Candace maybe lost the connection. So I just want to do a couple final announcements. Am I on, Michelle? Okay. So please, if you would contact one of the licensed professional practitioners by visiting our website. You'll find their phone numbers there. And also Reverend Linda is the contact person for congregant care, and her information is also on the website under licensed practitioners. So if you go to our website, you'll find the button that says About Us. You'll find a place for licensed practitioners, and then you'll scroll down the page and their phone numbers are there. So let's stay well in connection with one another. And I just invite you to join me in the final prayer. And I think Michelle is going to unmute you when we get to the part of "and so it is," so you can hear everybody say "and so it is" together.
Yeah, just cue me, Reverend Kathleen, as soon as you're ready, and I'll do it.
So just repeat after me. Perfect God within me. Perfect life within me, which is God. Come forth into expression through me as that which I am. Lead me ever on the path of all-inclusive love, and cause me to see only the good. And so let us affirm the truth of this statement with a powerful.
Hold on, everybody. It's going to be really loud and sound like a crazy cacophony, but we're going to do it anyway. Here we go.
Yes.
And so it is. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody, you can say hi to each other too.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Love you.
Hi, everybody.
I'm going to point this at
Thank you, Reverend Kathleen.
There's Michelle.
I love you guys.
Love you. Love you guys.
Oh, thank you. Bye. Hi from Ohio.
Bye.
Hi, River.
We love you.
Hi, Marianne and John.
Aw.
Love you guys. This was awesome.
It was
Thank you.
Thanks. I miss you guys, but it's good to see you all.
Yay! Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
This was really cool.
I see a cute kid. That's really cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Go, Jennifer. Thanks for keeping up the spirit, Jennifer.
Hey, Kath.
Hi, everybody.
Beautiful. Hi.
Now you can see Linda.
Oh, I see. Okay, I think Bruce and Virgie are there.
Hey, Linda.
Do you have the original picture?
I have the original.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful music, Deb.
Thank you, Linda.
This is better than the Brady Bunch.
Love you, sis, and I'll be,